And it's recording. Go ahead.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm here today with Holly Clark. I know you guys joined because you saw Holly's name, so I'm grateful that you're here for Holly, but I'm going to be co-hosting this session today with Holly. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tanya Avrith. If you follow Holly, I have been, I guess, working with Holly for the last 10 years. Her and I started collaborating together in 2012, and we co-authored the Google Infused Classroom and most recently the Microsoft Infused Classroom. And I work at Adobe. And I'd reached out to Holly and I said, I'd love to do a session with you on the Microsoft Q show. I don't know what we're calling it, but like, what is this called? Is it like the office hours?
No, it's the Global Educator or something or other. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so I figured I would love to be able to come on because, first of all, a lot of people don't know a lot about Adobe Spark, and I wanted to share a little bit about Adobe Spark because it is a free tool that so many schools and districts have, and teachers don't even know that they have it, which is crazy, but unfortunately reality. So for that reason, but also this past week, we launched a few new integrations with Microsoft, and I wanted to be able to share those integrations and talk about some of the possible pedagogical applications for the integrations with all of you. So welcome. If you're joining us, I don't know. Yes, there's a chat. I would love for you to share where you're joining from. If you could just let me know your name and what you teach and where you're joining from, that would be really awesome. And we're gonna just sort of dive into some of these integrations. So I'm gonna share my screen. Let me just move this over, and I'm gonna share my screen in just a second. So I still can't log in, but it's good that Holly's able to log into Flipgrid. So yay.
And I'm texting Adam right now, and I'm telling him everything that we're going through so that they can know more about it. But so am I going to share my screen then?
No, I was going to share mine, but it's just doing something a little funky, so I'm going to have to move it over here. Okay, great. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys just in a moment, and I'm going to kind of introduce a little bit about what we're going to be talking about today.
And guess what? We have another Canadian, Tanya, from Vancouver.
Do we? Hi, Canadians. Hello, my fellow Canadians. So
Serbia. That's cool. I've been to Serbia, by the way. Just want to point
that out. Okay, so I am sharing my screen right now. Here we go.
Oh, you have a Floridian too. Did you say hi to your Floridian?
Oh, hello, my Floridians. I'm sorry. I'm multitasking. You'll have to tell me who's here because I was just opening.
Another South Florida person.
Awesome. So let me know. Do you see my screen? Oh my gosh, how cool. Hey, everybody. So just to let me know, are you seeing my screen? Is it the right screen you're seeing?
Croatia. Sorry, I'm just getting thrilled by where everyone's from.
That's awesome.
Screen, darling. Go ahead.
Okay. Awesome. So hello. Yes, this is Holly and I, times before COVID, when we can be next to each other. It's actually an older picture. So my name is Tanya Avrith, and I work at Adobe as the education evangelist. And Holly and I are literally like, I think beyond friends at this point. Holly's my sister. We fight like sisters. And it's when you pass like the first book, you know that you're meant to be together. It's a relationship. We birthed two children together, our two books, which is Google Infused and Microsoft Infused. And I'm so proud of Holly's success with the Infused Classroom series. And I now work at Adobe But we are here today to talk a little bit about Adobe Spark and some of those integrations, as I mentioned. I'm originally from Montreal, Canada, but I now live in South Florida. So that's why Holly was like, look, you have fellow Floridians. So hello, my fellow Floridians. It's nice to meet you. And my Canadians, I love you. So I'm going to get started right off the bat.
Kozma is here. FYI, you should know. So
Who?
we have Flipgrid help. Anne is here.
Hi, Anne's there. Hi, Anne. Okay, so Holly, I'll let you introduce yourself in case people don't know who you are.
Oh, so I'm Holly, and I am the person who's normally doing these sessions, and I live in San Diego. And let's see, and I'm co-author of the Google and Microsoft Infused Classroom. You already heard about that in the Chromebook Infused Classroom. Okay, that's all we need to know.
So I want to first of all introduce you a little bit to Adobe Spark, and in just a moment I'm not going to be sharing this presentation. I'm going to kind of just dive into Spark, and I'm going to demo it and I'm going to show it to you. But for those of you who are familiar with Spark, if you could go into the chat and tell me how you've used it, that would be super cool. And it'll give me a lot of insight in terms of if you've ever used it, if I hear nothing from any of you. But Adobe Spark is a free tool. Awesome. So it's a free tool, and it basically allows you the ability to create beautiful graphics, videos, and web pages. Has anyone responded?
Yes, someone with a good one. So Alexis said, and I hope I'm saying that right, because anyway, says Teams banners. What a great idea.
Oh my God, can you tell me the dimensions? I've been trying to figure that out. Put the dimensions in if you know them. I'm trying to create a template for people to help them make it easier. So yes,
120 by 914. I'll write it down.
Oh my God, I love you. Who are you? I love you. You're the best. Thank you. Yes, I was actually literally just creating templates for teachers to make it easier for them. So yes, so you can create graphics and templates and beautiful videos really quickly. You can also create really gorgeous multimedia web pages or visual stories. And I'm going to show you all these examples in just a moment. And I love this little graphic that.
Oh my God, I haven't seen this graphic. It's amazing.
Isn't that beautiful? So Holly created with Monica Martinez, and here's just 8 more ways students can create. So creating a social media campaign, 6-word videos. I love those, right? Making 6-word videos. That's or 6-word summaries is another idea. So narrating 5-picture stories, creating 6-word summaries, designing multimedia biography reports. And I'm going to show you that in just a minute, because this is the idea that I have for Flipgrid integration. So we're going to look at that. Creating digital citizenship pledge videos. One of my very favorite things to do at the beginning of the year is to get kids to create I will, with positive language, pledge videos around how they're going to use the technology. And now more than ever, that's really good. Direct video book reports. So pulling together an analysis of your understanding of comprehension to be able to push together those thoughts and create a really meaningful book report where they're pressing record and making their thinking visible. And reflect on thinking and learning. So these are some of the things that are possible, along with so many other examples of ways that students can use Spark. But one of the things that I'm going to start with, because we're going to be talking about Adobe Spark through the lens of the integrations, is I'm going to show you some examples of ways that you can use Spark Video in Flipgrid, or things that you can do and how you can share it out. So we're going to look at that in just a moment. So as I'm just switching off the screen, Holly, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And was there anyone else, Holly, that mentioned anything else?
No, but they've seen, someone just said they saw Claudio do Flipgrid. I've seen one done for Flipgrid, which is, I do those all the time too. And so, yes, and I just did a 1-minute PD on how you can add fun little stickers to your graphics that move and dance, which is really fun. So, you came off your screen. Are you wanting me to show Flipgrid now?
I am going to share my screen again, and
Did
then
you
what I'm
have that same thing in it? What did it say? Query.
Yeah. So right now that's what's showing up for Flickr. But that's okay, because what I'm going to do instead.
I'm just telling
Yeah.
you. Sorry.
Yeah. So that's what's happening for mine. But what I want to do is just show you what Spark is and what's possible. So first of all, if you go to, and these are just some examples, but if you were to go to spark.adobe.com, right off the bat, right now I'm logged in. If you have the education version on your account, I'm going to sign up for a second. And when I go into sign in, if you actually have access to it in your school, you'll know, because what you do is you log in and it says where you go log in with school account, and you put in your credentials, like your school ID. And when you press enter, if you have it, you'll know because it'll go through. If you don't have it, there is a way to have your school access it. Unfortunately, right now it's still set up so that the school has to set it up, but it's completely free. People kind of get confused because it'll say 2 months free. No, for education, if you go to spark.adobe.com/edu, there is free, it is completely free for schools. So in this case right now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to log in really quickly just because it's faster for me to do it with my personal one just for right now, because I have to like double and triple authenticate on my other one. But once you log in, you're able to create different things. So you can, like in this case, it shows like flyer, Instagram story, collage, web page, video. So I'm going to really quickly show you an example of a graphic. So this is a graphic that I've been working on, and it was actually a template, because on Spark, there's like thousands and thousands and thousands of templates. So like if you were to just go here and if I just go, let's say school, for example, it will show me like bajillions of these templates. And these are just graphics to save you time as you're starting back, if you wanted to send things that looked nice to parents. But what I did is I went in and I took one and I remixed it, and I created this one for class procedures, just something super straightforward that I want the students to fill out. So I was going to make it into a remixable template so that they can kind of like share and scaffold this for their video. So they can like start like brainstorming their thoughts for their class procedures that they could then create into a video and press record and talk about their thinking. So this is something that I did. And when I'm ready to share it, I go to publish. And this is really great. And this is some of the integrations that I was really excited to share with you guys today. So one of the integrations that's really new is, in the past, Teams was not available. In the past, it was just share to Google Classroom, share to Twitter, share to Facebook, get the link. But now you can share directly to Teams. So when you click on it, it will take you to your classroom, and you'll be able to share it that way. So this is really great way to get the workflow in your class and be able to send it over. Yeah.
Can we talk about how that shares? Because I believe it shares as an assignment.
So this one, unfortunately, I'm not set up on a team because I had logged into my Gmail right now.
Okay.
So
and I'm not sure. It could go into post. Has anyone done it? Do they know? I'm pretty sure it goes to assignment.
I think you're right, because I did it on the other one when I created the tutorial for it, and it was an assignment.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's one way of doing it. The other thing that's new that I'm super excited to share is you're able now to take graphics, and I'll show you both, and images, and I could copy them, and I can go into my class OneNote.
Okay, I want to see this.
Me too. I'm hoping this one works.
It's so new, everyone. So that's why I want to see it.
Yeah, and by the way, this literally launched this week. So I was actually on with the engineers this morning, making sure that things were working when I put them in. So
you just put the link in. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, you should be able to just put the link in and it should just unfurl, but I might not have published it. So hold on, let me try that again. So let's do this. Yeah, I don't think I did. So let me go back.
You've got to publish it, then grab the link and then put it into, and then it turns it into, oh, I'm loving this.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Loving this.
It should work. If it's not, let me show you with this one because I know this one works.
No, try it again. I want to see if it works.
Well, here, let me show you this one because I know this one works because it worked. So remember, we literally launched this like maybe 2 days ago. So if there's any issues, the engineer definitely wants me to tell them. So I'm going to go back onto my OneNote, and that was my video. And I think that I had tested it out here. When I go in, there we go. There we go. And so now it should work. So right now,
right from the OneNote, eh?
Yes.
Dang.
Yes. So you can use this and have class discussion around it. You can use this as a portfolio space and share your work out. You can get feedback on it. And so now I didn't know this, Holly, but it's called It Unfurls. Did you know that that's the technical term? I did not know that. So
only because of something else, but we have a power user who just told us that you can choose to share either in a channel or create an assignment in Teams.
Correct, exactly.
And you can only do an assignment in the general channel, FYI.
Exactly. And thank you for mentioning that. So I was actually going to show you that. So here I have Microsoft Teams open, and here it is in my notebook. And here we go. So I can go in straight from here.
So as you're saying, a student in their own, this is a class notebook, but in their own OneNote can have one that they create that's a portfolio, or this could be one of the things that they put in their portfolio. Pretty darn.
Correct. Yes. So this just came out in the last 2 days. So I want my power users to have some patience because they're still fixing out all the kinks, but it should work for posts, which is weird because I just posted and I don't know what happened, but it wasn't. But it definitely works for video. And from what I understand, Page. So if you're working in Page, and we're going to show you the difference between the three in a second, Page is should be ready next week. So all three of the different tools, like posts, the graphics, the videos, and the web pages, they should be able to unfurl or embed or whatever it's called on OneNote within the next week. So that is coming, that's here, and it's really exciting. I love that now you can have your work, it plays within. It's great because you can also have kids collaborating together, giving feedback. So this is really good, like super exciting. I was super excited by this integration. It's one of my favorite ones. So those are two. So share to Teams and OneNote. Now, the other one that I wanted to talk a little bit about was the Flipgrid one. And for the Flipgrid one, I actually want to take you through an idea, a lesson idea. So I'm going to go to some of my lessons.
I like that.
I like lessons, right? And I'm going to share these as well in just a moment in the chat. But I created these 10 digital literacy lessons to really, they're great introductions to Adobe Spark. In this case, they're using, I just designed them on Google Docs, but I mean, you can share it, you can, make a copy, download it to PowerPoint, whatever. They're meant to be customizable. And I have these 10 lessons. So they look at digital literacy things. I have Holly loves this. Friends don't let friends use Word. That's Holly's title, best title of all time. There's I Am Poems with Adobe Spark, with Spark Video. There's All About Me Spark Videos. So this is a lesson plan, and it's sorry?
That's a goodie for back to school.
It really is, exactly. So let me show you. So this is like, this is
Can you
designed
drop the link to that in the chat so we can all have it?
Oh yeah, totally. Here we go. So let me copy and let me find the chat.
Is your Wakelet
Published, yeah.
Yay. Okay, cool.
Let me make sure that's the right link. Here, share. There we go. Yay. Okay, so we're
okay.
Yeah, I'm putting it in the chat. So you're gonna have all 10 lessons, okay? And they're all HyperDocs, they're all customizable. You can, make them your own, no problem. That's what they're there for. But what I did is I have these, let me take a selfie. It's actually originally from Sarah Landis, from the HyperDocs, and I adapted it. And so we look at, I have this lesson and I have the kids basically learning how to create their own Spark video all about me. And then my idea is that once you're kind of walking them through that, we can use this with Flipgrid. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Okay, so let me open that up. Holly, I'm going to give you this video because I'm going to have you do this, okay? So I'm going to give you the link.
Okay.
Cool.
And I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah. So I'm going to pop it in iMessage. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm going to give you this link. And what we're going to do with this is, so here's my thinking. Okay. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to explain my thinking, and Holly's going to get the Flipgrid ready. I would be, guys, for those of you who are joining a little later, I would be sharing my own Flipgrid, but it's not opening for me.
Oh, so Holly, you're going to want me to share it to Flipgrid?
Yes. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to share your screen. We're going to walk through this together.
Okay.
What you're going to be doing is there's now an integration in Flipgrid that lets you take Spark videos and use them as topics that you can put with the video, the topic video, and then have your students respond. So what's really cool about this that I love is the idea behind this activity is I have created a mentor example for my students. And I have created the example with the assignment attached into it using Spark Video because, guys, the new Flipgrid camera is ridiculous. Like, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's amazing.
I'm going to use it on my phone as like a normal thing because it flips. Yeah. No other camera does that.
No, it's insane. It's incredible. And like the thing is you can app smash Flipgrids and Spark now, like, which is mental. So like you can record videos on Flipgrid and then save them and then edit them together in Spark. What's cool about Spark is it's web-based. And so if you're creating really simple videos and you want to pull those pieces together and kind of add those animations, add some icons in there, like pull it into a more finished product, it's there. It's free and it's available for your students in that way. And so what I have my students do is they create these all about me videos to introduce themselves at the beginning of the school year. So Holly, are you able to start a new topic?
See my screen?
I just see the Spark video. Yeah.
So what do you want? You want me to go to Flipgrid?
Yeah, I just copy that link and then go to Flipgrid.
So copy the link. Okay, hold. Okay.
Okay.
And then here is my, here's my Flipgrid. What do you want me to do? Make a topic?
You're going to create a new topic.
Okay. So by the way, for everyone, this is the new Flipgrid. Grids are no longer called grids. They're called groups. So when I do something, I create a topic and then I share that out to different groups. Instead of creating a grid and then creating a topic, I now am creating a topic first and sharing it out. So
this is great because you could share it to multiple groups. It's similar to Facebook if you think about it.
Awesome sauce.
Yeah.
So, it's just going to take people a while and they're going to come on, and I feel so bad for the teachers who are not connected learners. They're going to come on, and be like, what the heck? So I'm going to add a topic, which is the same exact thing. And where am I adding your Adobe? Right here?
So it should be
It's right here.
Yeah, there it is. Yay!
Yeah.
Yes. So
We're
you're
gonna
gonna
go to topic title or nothing can happen. So we're gonna call this all. Maybe we could share this about me. And then, what's the prompt?
So the way that I would want it to be is that they're going to watch this example, like they're going to watch this example of all about me, learn about me, and then they're going to use Adobe Spark video. They're going to create their video, and then they're going to download it and then upload it into Flipgrid.
Yeah, kids are not going to be able to do that. So they can once they have a teacher who can help them with that. But watch the example and create your own, preferably in Adobe Spark, and I'll change the spelling of that. Sorry.
So I love Flipgrid smashed with Spark. And you're right. I mean, at first, if you just said to kids, go download it, they're not going to know how. But when you show them how to do it, they can. I mean, I've definitely taught them how. It's just not intuitive. Like, it's not just like, oh, I know how to do that. But once they figure out those literacy skills, like, and fluency skills, and know how to like move one app into the other, it's actually a good skill to have. Because even if they're creating in Flipgrid now with the new camera, you can take that video, download it, and then yes. So do I have tutorials for how to do it? That's a really good question. So I'm going to make some tutorials this week, just because all of this is so new, all these integrations. But Marilyn, please follow me on Twitter because I'm going to be sharing them.
But we have how to use all of the Adobe Spark ones here. So this tells you how to use them, and then she's going to do that integration part. So if you go there, Tanya does, and they take like 15 minutes to do. So they're awesome. And they're great to share with students. Like everything we always like, I give stuff to teachers and then it's like, it's teachers only. Parents should be watching the Flipgrid videos. Parents should be watching the Adobe. Like we need to get back on that. So anyway, I'm going to go back and then.
Yes. And then what I'll do is I'll add, Holly, and we can even put that on there, a tutorial on just this, like how to app smash with Flipgrid and Adobe Spark.
And then also the Teams one. Okay, go ahead. So I'm making my topic the way I always did in Flipgrid. I give it a minute. I give it a prompt. I'll probably go back and change that prompt a little bit. But when I come down here to adding media, you can see there's an Adobe Spark section. So I'm going to put in that link, and Tanya tells me it will work. And I'm going to add it, and I'm sure it will. And there is the media. And that becomes what will show when I go to my thing. So we have new things where we can access control. So this stuff right here is kind of new. And I'm going to make this one public so that we can put it on their topic list, Tanya. So I'm going to create the topic. And now we're all set. And let's go and see. So I'm going to go. Now it's not called grids. It's called discussion. And here is where that one lives. So let's click on it now I haven't added it to any groups. So it's telling me, hey, yo, no one's going to see this. So let's see how we add it to a group since we're all new to this.
This is so great. I'm learning so much too, Holly. This is awesome.
To add it to, we're going to add it to practice because it was one I was making yesterday. And we'll close. And now I'll go find, so now it just says this one is in practice. And you can see that I don't have any doubles because it was grids before. So let's go click on it. And I can, now instead of saying like a green add button, I have this thing called record a response. So I can see what the title or the prompt is up here. And when I record a response, it's going to take me right to the Flipgrid Shorts, which, by the way, let's take a second and just look at that. So it tells me right away that my teacher has given me 2 minutes because that's what I chose. But here are the new effects, by the way, in Flipgrid. And people are most freaking out about the frames because you can do things like breaking news and you can do this frame. So
and Claudio, someone mentioned Claudio. Claudio just put out a tutorial. Claudio Zavala, and I think he's doing. I think he's doing a session here.
Merrill's did. Oh, he might be.
Yeah, because he's
Merrill Adobe Spark on how to make your own with Adobe Spark.
Oh, did they also? Awesome. Yeah, that's
3 days ago or a week ago. So
awesome.
because so anyway, you can use all of these cool frames that kids will like, but here's what's really unique, because I hear this a lot from teachers. My kids don't like making videos, which if we can all use adult language here, I call BS on. I think that kids like making videos, but we haven't ever asked them to in school. So they get really nervous about it, but pick their phone up and then look and see how many TikTok videos they're making and look and see how many Snapchat videos they're making. They just don't want to make them in school because people are going to hear them talk academically and it's not fun and off the, like, it's not fun. And so what we have to do is teach them how to use these videos because they need to be able to articulate their learning. But in this new effects, and I'm stuck on frames, let me close it. Out of this, and this is good because I need to learn. In this new effects, I can go to filters, and their filters now, they have really major pixelization. So if I'm not comfortable with my video, I can't use that anymore. And for the kids who love Legos, there's Lego blocks, and they could use these to cover themselves up now. They used to have this pixelization, but now it's even a stronger pixelization. So you can't see my home, which some kids don't want right now because might not be something they're proud of, or maybe that's too nice and they don't want people to know. So we have some of these new features in the grid, but one of the favorites that I like is these boards are now no longer just a whiteboard. We have grids where kids could do like the math problems that they do on the grids. There is graph paper, there's notebook paper, there's this kind of grid now. So we can also split the screen and have it be part of me. What? That's crazy. And so I could be talking here and doing my math over, let's go to the whiteboard, and I could be doing my math. And if I take this stupid, and this is why, if you were in my class, you could use this if you were having a bad hair day, but I'd probably give you like, I would probably say you can use that filter 5 times this year. You decide when it is, because I want kids building relationships. So I'll use this one. I'm going to come back, and in this board, I've now split my screen. I'm in the whiteboard, and now I can explain. Let me get out of this so I can get the pen. And I can now draw and talk. Hello, I'm Holly, and I'm going to tell you how I'm doing this particular thing. Obviously, using a mouse that's on a keyboard. I mean, it's not as easy. And so when I record that, you're getting me talking about right here on this screen. So that's really cool. This split screen is one of the things I'm most, I'm super stoked
I love this. And you're able to download things that you record also, right? So like you don't like you can take that. That's what I love about this, because like you can record and use this. Like this is so joyful. Like I know that this is like if you're like depending on like free tools, like if your school doesn't have a lot of like access to paid tools, like you could essentially use like Flipgrid and Spark to create really beautiful looking videos now, because like you could essentially create like the camera in here, then pull the pieces together and have kids edit their work, like if you wanted to take it further. And that's what I like about Spark Video is, like if this was like a one-off like quick demonstration, I wouldn't say use Spark Video, but like
yeah. I'm sorry, I just used the phone version of Flipgrid, and in stream, I was first talking, hello, it's Holly, and I had my face, and then I stopped and flipped the camera and showed the computer screen. I'm here to tell you, you cannot do that with any other camera on the market. Microsoft has hit it out of the thing. So as a kid, I can say, hey, it's Holly, and I can turn it around to my poster and then explain my poster and come back and then talk again. And I don't know if most people don't realize you can't do that on an iPhone. You can't do that on an iPhone camera.
Yeah, no, the camera is great. So like this camera is awesome. Holly, you're going to be seeing lots of Flipgrid videos coming out of Holly's social media.
TikTok coming out. I'm going to TikTok the heck out of this stuff. Anyway. Sorry.
So Yeah, so these are great tools to kind of work together. I love Flipgrid, and I love now that you can kind of, use them together. And I look at it as like a creative suite. I have access for my kids to Flipgrid, they have access to Spark, they have tools in their toolbox to kind of get started. I'm going to take over the screen because I want to just make sure that people know how to use Spark if they are not familiar with it. So
I have to probably stop sharing maybe. So let me see. I don't know. I've never doubled up with someone before. So anyway, I'm done.
Yeah, you had to stop, and now I'm gonna share my screen. Okay.
So Clara, someone just came in and said, is there a link to the presentation? I think Tanya has something and she'll share that when she's done presenting.
Yeah, I have resources. So I was gonna just share my resources.
Yeah.
All right, so that was the all about me, and I love that idea of like the Flipgrid and like using that as a topic. But really quickly before we leave, I want to just do a couple quick demos of how simple it is to create in Spark. So I'm going to start with video. So I'm going to go to the plus button. I'm going to go to video, and I'm going to get started. So first things first, I'm going to give it a name. So all about me. Awesome. And if I was just getting started and I wanted my students to kind of start with some stems, like some scaffolding around what they're trying to say, I could create using a story template, or I can start from scratch. So in this case, I'm going to, since I'm talking about myself, I'll do personal growth. Why not? A little bit about me through the lens of personal growth. This is really great for English language learners. This is great for elementary age students. I think this is honestly great for me because I never know where the hell to start. Holly will tell you. So having a little bit of like some structure just to kind of get my ideas out is super helpful. I think it's helpful for so many people. So if I didn't choose this template, it would just start from scratch and I would just press the plus button and it would add slides. So when I go in, I'm going to add some texts all about me. And I can go to the plus button and I can add video or a photo. And this is where I was saying like it kind of gets cool because I could, if I wanted to use the camera on Flipgrid, for example, and create something super cool, but then pull it together and like polish it together into like a more edited video, I could do that. I can app smash. That's really great digital fluency skills for kids to learn as well, how to kind of combine apps to create something even more interesting and polished. So I could either do that or I can go to photo. I can upload a photo. So maybe if I had a photo that I wanted to bring in from my desktop, if I have something that I had saved from Spark Graphics, like from the post, I could bring in something from there. Or I can go to find free photos. And in this case, I'm going to go Canada because I'm from Canada. Actually, I'm going to go even more. I'm going to go Montreal since I'm from Montreal, and that's a big part of who I am. So I'll start with that. And just so you to kind of get to give you some perspective, these photos are beautiful, and they are all free and used to. They're Creative Commons free and use. Free to use and share, and they come from these two sites, which are Pixabay and Unsplash, and those are actually sites that you can go on and on your own and check out. They're free, and it's great to teach kids like where to go to get those pieces of media so that they are not just going and Googling it and stealing off the web. So these are high quality images. Okay, so then I'm going to go here, and this is my favorite part of Spark, in general. It's this little red button, and it's, press record. And hi, everybody. My name is Tanya Avrith, and I'm going to share a little bit about my journey all the way to Florida from Montreal. So I share my story, and what's great is I can, it's chunked, so I can go in and add my voice and kind of think through each part the way that I would want the sound to be or what I would want to say. And if I don't like it, I can remove the narration and start again. And then I just continue doing that. And so you can see it's actually quite simple. It's not overly complicated. There's not too many buttons. So here I'm going to add my little Canada flag. But I don't really like this theme. So I'm going to go in here right now and I'm going to change the theme. I'm going to make that theme, there we go, make it red. And one thing that's really great about Spark Video is that, and Spark in general, is that it really works within creative constraints. Like, it doesn't give you 1,000 buttons per se, because it's a great place to get to have conversations around design and aesthetics, and really to work within constraints, to learn how to push the boundaries around what you have access to, so that you're focusing on what you want to say versus getting really stuck on all the different fonts and all the different animations that are available. Not to say that they're not fun, but I think once you learn how to kind of get your message out, and you learn what makes good design and good videos and good graphics, then you can start pushing those boundaries. So I can continue recording. I am from Montreal, Canada. And obviously, like, in this case, there's these STEM challenges. So here it says, tell your audience about a challenge, obstacle, or problem you faced. So let me go back here, and it helps me kind of just build my story. So it was very, very cold in Canada. As you can see, you can kind of tell where I would go with this story because I ended up in Florida. So I think we can kind of guess how the story would go. But when I'm done, and I'm not going to show the whole thing, but just to kind of show you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tanya Avrit, and I'm going to share a little bit about my journey all the way to Florida from Montreal. I am from Montreal, Canada. It was very, very cold.
Okay, so I'm able to, I hate my voice on there. So I can go in there and I can also, if I wanted, I could do a split screen. I can add another photo or text there. There's a couple of layouts, and there's also music that's really great for kids to learn about, like, the mood that they're trying to portray and how the music can match the mood. So this is great. I love these for, especially when you're doing like comprehension around book reports instead of like a old school book report, like having kids kind of retell. I've seen it done with just icons, because you can add just icons, and it's like genius. That they retell just using icons. It really forces them to think about keywords and really forces them to think through the steps and the flow of the book. It's amazing. So that's Spark Video, and that's just Spark Video. So I can share it. I can invite a contributor, so we can work not at the exact same time, but if I close it, then like Holly would be able to continue working on it. And I create a link. Yeah. Holly?
I just said, yay, I can continue working on it.
So right now it's generating a link, and I'm actually going to pull that link in a second, because again, this is the link that I would share in OneNote, which is great. I love the idea of having a OneNote process portfolio so that I can go in and share and get feedback, and kind of like pull it together that way. So it's gonna generate that link, and that link can also be shared in a Spark page. So let me make a copy, and I can share it on Teams right there. But the other thing that's really great that I could do is I can create a Spark page, and I'm actually not gonna have much time because we're running low on time to go through how to create it, but I wanted to show you what some Spark pages look like. So let me go into preview mode. So this is an example. This is a page that I created to share examples. I'm actually going to share this with you guys so you can see some student examples that some of my students actually created. And this is a Spark video from a second grade student. this is one of my very favorite ones. And this is,
did you put this together? Can you share this resource?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I'm going to share all of these. I'm going to put all of these in there. So this is an example of a Spark portfolio. And in this case, it was a personal story. And so my student, Savannah, she, I have my students write about themselves. And it's not necessarily like they are writing about art per se, but I want them to share about themselves. And so what they do is they create their video that kind of tells their story. And this is using Spark Video. And I'm not going to show the whole thing, but you have to watch it. It's incredible. And she's talking about her journey as an artist, because people always see her as being this like really talented artist, but what they don't see is all the hard work and how long she's been working at it, and all her sketchbooks and all the mistakes she's made. And so she talks about that in her video, and then shares a little bit more to give context in this really beautiful Spark page. And this is a great tool that I would say you would use to kind of pull in more of the polished work that students create, so that they can really show their growth over time, and use this as an assessment of their learning, as more of a summative assessment, where they can pull in all of the feedback that they've taken from their OneNote, from like their portfolio pieces, and pull together into something that's a little bit more refined. And it's nice because you can also embed your Spark videos in here as well. So it's like a great little multimedia tool to tell stories. Holly, is there anything that you want me to show? I know you love these.
I want you to show the Jewish, sorry.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, I know which one you're talking about. So this is one of my very favorite ones. This is Savannah Kennedy.
Can I work?
Savannah Weiss.
This one?
Yeah. You want to talk through it?
I want to talk through it and then you do it. So think of a 5-paragraph essay. So I want you to think about the end of a writing unit where we're done with the writing process. We've done everything in Google Docs, and now the students are going
in Microsoft Word.
Yeah, whatever. People know. And or Microsoft Word, and we've added comments along the way, and they've gotten to that final product. Well, in 2020, that's no longer okay just to have, and stop right there. A document that is one-dimensional like that. In Microsoft Word, we can certainly bring in photos, but we can't really do it in the same way. So think about this. Here's the first paragraph, and it says, Jørgen Møller was born in Denmark in 1937, and we're going to learn about his childhood. So the student has to think about what images could they put behind this that bring this to life. So if you scroll, and you can scroll now, Tanya, of course, it's going to bring in an image of Denmark, keep going, images of the grandfather as a kid. And now we're going to get to paragraph number 2. So we're going to choose, and you can stop, the Holocaust. We're going to bring in pictures. Tanya disagrees with me on this, but I really think that Savannah chose yellow here because of the yellow of the Jewish star that's just a little further down.
I would love to say that that was the case. It wasn't, because I know why she chose yellow, but
okay.
She did that, like when she did do it, I don't think she realized it, and it worked beautifully.
Okay. So now we go to the 3rd paragraph, and it's about family. So what are we going to show? We're going to show pictures of family. And Tanya, this one that's coming right here, that kind of looks, keep going. That looks like me from the side.
Oh my God, it does look like you.
Oh, isn't that weird?
That is so weird.
I know, I saw that one day and I was like, holy Toledo. Anyway, so we're going to show images of the family. So we're taking that 3rd paragraph and we're bringing it to life. We go to the next paragraph. And it's not like this was a 5-paragraph essay. I'm just breaking it down this way. So we talk about the profession. We're going to bring in pictures of that grandfather's profession. And then we get to the creme de la creme, which Tanya's going to right now. Boom. We bring in a video of her interviewing her grandfather. That is writing. That is what a writing piece should look like in 2020. If it doesn't look like this, you are writing in 1985. And so like this stuff is incredibly powerful. So when you think of Adobe Spark page, you might think of a web page. Oh, we're not doing web pages. No, think of it as a final page in something that
it's really stories, because a web page usually has like tabs and you can kind of flip around, whereas a Spark page is really very much one story. And what's cool, that's why it's great that you can embed page now into OneNote, because you could essentially take, if you wanted like some pages, there's no one way of using anything. You're going to do what's best in your class with your kids that makes sense. So like maybe you use Spark as a place to curate. Maybe you use OneNote as the place where you're curating all of those work. Maybe you use this for them in an English class to pull together and take their writing and make it have like breathe new life into student writing. But in whatever way you decide that workflow works, the tool really is there. And it's there to really support student learning. And here's the other thing that I didn't have time to talk about, but the reason I know that Savannah didn't choose the yellow in that way, that it would happen to just work out that way, was because she had designed her logo for her brand before this assignment.
Okay.
Yes. So one of the other things that you have access to in Spark Premium for Education is the ability for kids to customize their work with a logo. And so one of the things that I have, and I'm going to put the link in here, I actually have the lesson plans, the 3 lesson plans to do this assignment. So I get the kids to create their logos, then they create an All About Me video, and then they create a page about themselves or something that they're passionate about. And that was this whole lesson. So I'm actually going to give you that lesson plan to get you going. But
also, Tanya, everyone wants a copy of your resources, so we can't forget that.
I won't. So I'm actually going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to let you, so that I'm going to just get all those resources together so I don't forget and I don't miss anything before everyone gets on. So Holly, would you like to share anything about anything coming up? So that as I'm doing this, I want to just make sure.
Because this is winding down, and a lot of the people in this session have already been to my HyperDoc session.
Okay.
My last ones.
So
yes.
I do want to make sure that people are aware that, so I'm going to share a few links. So first of all, let me just share, I shared the Wakelet, and I want to make sure that I share it again. So I'm going to just get that link for you. Let me go back in here. So
Wakelet, or no, I can't, I'm off, but I have to, you're also a presenter, Tanya, but I have to go off and get to my next presentation.
Sure. So I'll stay on it with you guys. I'm going to make sure I share with you all of my resources, and let me get